They're going to start the drive here on the ground with Patterson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
On first down, going back to Patterson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Seahawks much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Mariota. Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17. Into the red zone, first down. Well, they told us that he was just going to be a bear to defend. And usually tight ends are, Charles, but he's no exception to that rule. His second catch of the opening possession, and it gets him a first down.
Yeah, and they certainly saw something on his earlier reception. He went back and reported what he found. And one of the things about him, he's like a wide receiver to me, Brandon. He has a great sense of space and understanding where defenders are.
Yeah, we talk all the time, Charles, and it kind of gets cliche about the hands that he has, but really it's the truth. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. And he'll complete this one to Patterson. 2 yards on the pickup there. 3rd and 7 now. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Patterson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Koo knocks this one through the post. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, given where they started that opening drive, CD, I think to get 3 out of it, probably a pretty good start that they'll take.
I think you're exactly right about that, because they just shook off the effects of the kickoff in field position and took the ball and moved it downfield. Didn't pay off with a touchdown, but that drive, that was really nice for them, and they did come away with 3 points.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. They'll run here with a rookie second-round pick, Kenneth Walker. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Darnold. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown Seattle. Marquise Goodwin His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Taken in at the 3. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Mariota to throw it. Got a man. It's Patterson complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Left side complete to Lockett. And some room to roam now. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run pat.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jeff Smith, 40 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw, Mariota. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. They'll send the tight end in motion left. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Play action. It's Darnold. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
One step in the proper direction.
And in motion. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On 1st down, Darnold. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. To the air again, Darnold. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning the perfect game in baseball? Are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. From the gun, Mariota. It's caught by Davis. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Mariota's throw into the hands of Ferkser here. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Here's Patterson again. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Could be some contact going on.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Patterson on the draw play. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Mariota. That's taken in by Ferkser. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 20-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. On 4th down, Mariota is off, and on comes Atlanta's Younghoe Koo. And that is no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
Wow, that qualifies as a bad miss because anything inside of 40 should be automatic. That's a big mistake right there.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off of play action, Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
First down by Noah Fant. You're reminded watching him play that he's one of the most athletic tight ends we saw coming out of college in recent years. Every route and every catch can be turned into a bigger play with what he can do as an athlete in the open field. A nice big play from him there for the first down.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
And the slot man goes in motion left. A play fake, and it's Darnold going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big play there for Seattle. 45 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Again, Walker. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
When I was playing, all our defensive coaches talked about when you're near your own goal line and you're trying to stop them from getting in, your heart gets tested. What a nice play on the last down.
A lot of heart on 2nd. Do they have the heart on 3rd? And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime. Myers connects on the PAT, and a rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From out of his end zone, it's Avery Williams. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trey Brown. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
A final shot before the break, Darnold. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it. Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring them down to the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wideout. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for Seattle. So that one just a little touch pass, but it paid off quite handsomely.
Yeah, and let's face it, the quarterback loves it because it pads his stats as a completed pass for nice yardage downfield. But I like the way they get the receiver in motion. It's almost like he's running a route before he gets the football because he's got a full head of steam when the ball is popped in his direction.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Walker once more. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Ken Walker, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes...
Oh, he fakes the spike. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Mariota to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. Walker now on 1st and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Excellent play there by Arnold Ebiketie to meet him behind the line for a loss.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool. On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Second down and 3 with right around 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Threes all around. Penny going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Seahawks just continue to roll. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the second time of the ball game.
And, Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is brought in at the 21. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. 45 yards. And the Seahawks get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Now Myers for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Patterson on the draw. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A give for Walker running right. And he's got it down to the 28.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. Down right around the 25. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
114 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They run again with Walker. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
He's crossing. He's checking credit.
Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wideout. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Now, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's got to reincarnate it right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They go play action. Mariota rolling to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
Picked off by Uchenna Nwosu. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. But my goodness, CD, I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Here's Walker.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal.
On 2nd down, it's Walker.
And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line.
140 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll try and run. Walker.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
1st and 10, it's Patterson.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
On 2nd down, a run with Patterson.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Oh, he fakes a spike. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack.
Alton Robinson
with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
straight ahead, Walker.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. So the victory here for Seattle.
Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting tape to analyze, won't it? Because why did it work in the first quarter, but nothing in quarters 2, 3, and 4? So we always talk about adjustments. You don't just wait till halftime. You do it series to series. They'll be working on that in preparation for their next game.